I guess nobody on the Skull ship ever keeps records of where they go, otherwise they'd know that Zool had taken the ship out many times. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Voltaise 5. What happened last time? We recorded these back-to-back 2 episodes at Pop. Of course, we only release one at a time, but we record 2 at a time. So, last 2 episodes was one with Daijiro desperately trying to get his father back, gets captured by Zool, who is also trying to mind read Professor Go, who self-hypnotizes himself. They take the father back, but Daijiro gets a coded message from him, leading us into the next episode, which is Amoeba becomes Beast Machine. I don't have much to say about that episode other than the ridiculousness of it. So what I'm going to bring up first is normally we would go into the board here, but I don't have much board to go over because the only real dynamic that changes is Zool gets the crap beaten out of him by Jangle on the order of Prince Heinel as a recompense for having failed him. And the only thing I could think to do there was to add like a red line from Jangle to Zool, but I didn't, for the same reasons why I didn't add red lines from everybody to Jangle. If you remember way back when Jangle got imprisoned, we didn't see him getting beaten on, but he was being imprisoned by the same token for failure. So I feel like this is just an aspect of their internal shit that's going on. Plus, we already know that Zool is anti-Heinel. One from the Duke stuff, but also from the aspect that Zool himself doesn't like Heinel as an up-and-comer. So, no changes to the board is what I'm saying. So if you look at the link below on whatever video upload you're looking at, that's probably going to be the same the same board link as has been in previous links. Sorry, mind blank. So, not a problem there. I do have notes, though I will admit in my talking about what happened last time, I probably already kind of went over them. So, new episodes establish that Zool is working for himself. Something we established somewhat with the Duke from before, but even more present now. Though, how Zool can disappear long enough to have these bases built without even a question of resource allocation, or the main base's missing manpower that would be required to man Zool's hidden bases, is also an issue that would need to be covered. I guess it implies the rank and file soldiers are also working against Heinel. The whole brain scan thing feels like filler that only exists to waste time in the episode. Essentially, Zool has a device to get the info he wants that isn't pre-established and just comes out of nowhere. Granted, this isn't my note, but other things like that happen. Like the voice mimicking device. Which is fine, because that does something that isn't immediately countered. Whereas this one is immediately countered by the next thing that happens. Let's see. And Professor Go has a technique to defeat it that has equally never been set up and just comes out of nowhere. At the end of the day, that part of the episode cancels itself out. Daijiro's swipe at Kenichi about his failure to save their father in the previous 2 episodes really exemplifies the problem of the Voltaise 5 machine only having the one pilot. All 4 other members of the team have to just sit there and watch, no matter what happens. As much as I dislike Professor Sakunji so far, I have to admit that he is right and Daijiro is wrong. Legit, the city is burning behind them on the monitors as Daijiro is making his plea about seeing his father again. I get Daijiro's concern, but people are likely dying this moment. I doubt Professor Go would accept that you sacrificed people's lives to save his. And my last note, because again, as I said before, I don't have many notes about the last 2 episodes. Last episode didn't really have a lot to mention other than the fact that Zool calls out Catherine as a useless female. It's very weird. But I guess it fits the era. Tons of misogyny in 70s anime for some reason. And the insanity of their beast machine tech. Before, it seemed like they were just transplanting animal brains into pre-existing machine bodies. They'd even modified those bodies in the past to upgrade them, which I just assumed they'd done like any other mecha. But here, with the amoeba, they just shoot living material with a beam, and it grows massive and turns into a beast machine. Sorry, it turns into a beast machine. I guess technically it does turn into... Sorry, to correct myself here. I said it turns into beast machines and then corrected myself. Technically, I'm not wrong, because when the thing grows up, it says it's 2 beast machines in one. So technically, it did grow into 2. I'm sorry, it did grow into beast machines. Anyway, it makes no sense at all. It's nothing that we've done before or has been expressed in the material. So it's very confusing. Other than that, though, again, I don't have much going into this because the one episode was good from a setting stuff up segment. Daijiro trying to find the father, then, trying to go on that course again. We're doing the rule of threes. The second episode was just another fight episode. I've stated before, I don't have a problem with fight episodes. They're not the things I'm interested in seeing. And I noted this back when we were watching the episode, but they also they're pulling the errors, like when I'm sorry, I'm forgetting names all of a sudden. Hiyoshi, sorry. Back when Hiyoshi is in the spinning thing to try and push him through the G's, they show Hamaguchi in the window above because clearly they copied that segment of the animation. Hamaguchi's been dead. This is Sakunji is supposed to be up there. Same thing with the dad. The dad is full beard one episode, then they show him again next episode, clean cut. The preview for the episode after that, boom, full beard again. I was making the joke during the episode. Did Azul shave Professor Go? Clearly not, because they have a full beard again this episode. So I don't know. But again, it's 70s anime. I'm not going to crap on it for that kind of stuff. I find it to be interesting how it would happen. That's all. Other than that, though, I say we go ahead and hop on in and see what we get today.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I mean, like I said, I'm not for nothing. I'm not trying to shit on the animation of the show. I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy it a lot more than certain animations that I've seen recently. But it's just jarring when I'm watching a scene and I'm having concerns about, say, Hiyoshi's safety, or thinking Sakunji is trying to actively seemingly trying to kill the team. And then all of a sudden, Hamaguchi appears in the window, and it's like, wait, how does that happen? Also, Hamaguchi was a sign of better times. So to suddenly see him in a window where I'm having real concerns about the new professor's ability to lead the team, I don't know. I will also say I really appreciate Sakunji, no, you guys can't do this. I'm going to go out and get a breath of fresh air, though. Very much implying that he wants them to do the thing, but he can't order them to do it. So I rather enjoyed that. Well, you remember back when you remember when all of the UFOs, the saucers, launched from underwater? Boom, underwater base. It's eminently weird how their bases look sci-fi from the outside, but seem to be made from brick and stone on the inside. Yeah, like if it's like sci-fi material, where's the dirt and rock coming from? Yeah, also the last time we saw them dealing with the professor, he was like asleep in like a coffin chamber. Why wouldn't you just keep him in that all the time? Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to make an apology here ahead of time. I say this all the time in Gundam. The underwater scenes are always the worst in Mecha. Okay, you shot it with the chest thing, but they've got the belt fire beam. I don't use that, especially when it's on top of you. What happened to the Voltes machines? They all turned into generic green fighter craft. One bullet. We got both guys with one bullet. Oh, this must be a dream. This has to be a dream. Daijiro uses a pole. He doesn't use a gun. I legit think this must be a dream sequence. Too much of this is wrong. That or it's more mind control shit from Zool. Again, they're not 1940s mafioso. You remember when the entire world's military could not hurt the saucers? It took... like, even the Voltes machines had a hard time hurting them. And now Daijiro destroyed a few with a handgun. With, like, a rifle. If this doesn't turn out to be a dream sequence, I am gonna be livid. Exactly. Nothing is right about this. When was it destroyed? Also, doesn't matter. Okay, I know what's going on. This is legit that like Rick and Morty episode where they needed them to make antimatter fuel. We're gonna trick you into thinking the Voltes machine's been destroyed. And now, Professor Go, we need you to make another Voltace machine. Teach us how. Boom. I think the move here then would be to make one wrong on purpose as a joke. That's literally the most realistic thing. That's what I expect to really happen if Professor Go showed up.
全て計画通りだ。これで偽のボルテスを作り、第二の基地を潰した甲斐があったというもんだ。さすがズール様。
Wait, what?
このやつめまんまとかかりましたな。左近次もケンイチたちも偽のサイボーグとは気づかず。当たり前だ。奴隷人間の中から体格の同じものを。
Okay, now it's fucking stupid again. It's not that it's in his head. It's really happening with robots and shit.
自分を本当のケンイチだと思い込んでいるんだからな。本物の方はどうなっております？はじめにゴーを閉じ込めておいた例の秘密基地アマラスト島で懸命に行方を探しておる。無駄なことよの。ゴーの設計図さえできれば第二ボルテスはわしのものじゃて。たとえハイネルといえど恐るるに足らんわ。プリンスハイネル様よりのお言葉です。ただいまより午前会議が開かれますので、急ぎ
I could see where back then. I can see where back then this might be incredibly smart, but
ボルテスメカはアマラスト島上空をしきりに飛び回っている。何故にアマラスト島を中心とした海域を飛び回っているのだ？確かに仰せのごとく奴らの動きは腑に落ちませぬな。何かを探しているようにも見えますし。あやつらが血眼になって探すとすれば、行方不明になった父のゴーしかおらぬ。しかし、なぜアマラスト島を中心に探すの？ズール。
what do they know and what do they not know?
どうしたズール？希望を誇るお前ならわからぬはずはなかろう。ハイネル様、ここは一つ攻撃重視を出撃させて彼らを追い払い。
I guess the homeworld hasn't sent any messages about the father having escaped.
危ないところじゃったわい。ゴーを隠しておいたあの秘密基地の場所を気づかれるとは。
I guess nobody on the Skull ship ever keeps records of where they go, otherwise they'd know that Zool had taken the ship out many times. I'm just confused about the fact that Zool seems to have captured the father, and all they know is that the father's missing? Or that these people are still looking for it? Him, I meant. Because they haven't expressed that the father has escaped at any point, so I don't know that they know that the father has escaped. Oh crap. Well, my lamentation about having to see an underwater fight. Looks like we might be in 2 water fights. I at least appreciate that they're exploring the entire spectrum of creatures. Not really into... Never really appreciate how much Professor Go looks like Hamaguchi.
左近次君どう思うかね、この結果を見て。
まあまあというか、つまり。
そうか、やはり君も強度が足らんと思うか。
確かに足らんと思う。
おっと、書類を一枚忘れてきてしまったらしい。取ってくる間、すまんが君に代わりを頼む。
Clearly, that has nothing to do with intensity, is what I would anticipate to be the problem there.
遅い。奴は
Because obviously, it was a trick question to fake him out. I just don't know what it would be for.
左近次博士。いや、偽の左近次博士。そろそろ正体を表したらどうかね。
ゴー博士、何を言う。
コントロール室を見たまえ。
Well, why do that, though? Oh, come on. We took the time at the start of the episode to establish that the android versions thought that they were real. Not only would Professor Sakunji get exactly what he wanted with robot versions of the team if you took them back, they legit thought that you were their dad. And you just shot them dead. The pilots are your children, you jackass. I don't think you need to explain to him how you know he's the fake after he tore his own face off and exposed himself as an android. Yeah, we've already expressed that Professor Go is good at piloting Bosnian ships. I guess also set this place to self-destruct so he never finds it.
左近次博士、私だ、ゴーだ。敵の基地から脱出した。ゴー博士、今どこだ、どこにいる。太平洋上、ポイント20の海域だ。敵から奪った飛行機で航行中だ。応援を頼む。わかった。すぐボルテス5を差し向ける。ボルテスパトゥート。
Yeah, granted, you're on a fight on a abandoned island. You could just leave this thing behind and go fly to save your dad. Well, granted, they just gave it flight when I brought that up. Unless it's a double bluff. Unless it's a double... I mean, there's no way possible. Zool's too concerned. But what if it was? What if it was Professor Go was also the android and this was all being set up? What if it was all being set up so that they believed that the android was real? Not... I mean, again, I don't think that's happening.
今向かっているところたい。もうすぐ会えると。お父さん。息子たちよ、長い間心配をかけた。
It's hard to put my trust in him after he admitted that he did not put escape pods into it because he didn't want his own children to get too used to running away from a fight.
しまった、いかん。お父さん、どうしたんだお父さん。脱出の時に機体が撃ち抜かれていったらしい。一射する。
I guess thank God it was just some random island.
スピードを上げろ。敵に何か起きたらしい。急げ。お父さんはポイント201に不時着した。
Remember when we spent a whole episode teaching the Voltes team to go faster than they've ever gone before? Be great if they did that right now, huh?
お父さんだ。お父さん、お父さん。お父さん。 ゴーだ。奴がここにいたとは。ハイネル様、お喜びください。行方がわからずにいたゴーを図らずも今見つけましたぞ。誠か。誠にゴーか。あ、確かに。そうか。
Go there. Brilliant commands.
逃がすな。ゴルデス5にゴーを渡すな。いかん。ジャンギャルめゴーを捕らえる気だ。
I have a feeling if this was like a game or something, I would just break the Voltes 5 machine up into pieces and like, every one of us would go there. It's a race. Gotta get there first. Because otherwise, as one unit, you are getting overwhelmed right now by this. Remember when the Skull Ship had that tractor beam thing that lifted Jangle up from the ground and pulled him into it? Literally from a lot further away than they are right now. I almost want to bet that their plan was to just scoop him up with the mouth. Say, imagine the waves you're kicking up for him to try and swim his ass through. You know, I don't think I've thought about this before, but I have to think the tops and the belt have to be an element of Ippei's fighting ability, because essentially just whips. I guess I kind of saved on animation of having to pull it out if you just flip around and then have it in your hand. I feel like that was the most underserved Beast Machine. It barely got a fight.
また機体の破損もひどく行方をつかむことはできません。ご覧ください、ズール様。スカールークも探索を諦めて引き上げていくようです。
ゴーがスカールークに捕らえられた様子もないし、ひとまず
I mean, he's either on the surface and alive, or on the bottom and not.
お父さん。
ようやく巡り会えた父と子だが、皮肉な運命の前に再び別れ別れになってしまった。懸命にゴー博士を探し求めるボルテス5であったが、その生死は用として掴むことはできなかった。どこへ消えてしまったんだ、お父さん。お父さん。
I have no idea why you're searching down here, though. Because again, at that point, you're searching for a corpse. He's either at the top, he's washed up onto the island, or he's dead. I don't know. It's such a weird episode. It's a good episode, but it's very weird. Again, the element that I saw the trick coming, but then they did it in such a weird way. I don't know. But still, that he killed the android versions of his kids, who, as Zul said earlier in the episode, believe 100% that they are who they are. Like, why would you establish that and then have him kill them? I legit thought we were going to get a story where the android kids help him escape, even finding out that they were androids, because they so believe that they are who they are. But no, we instantly threw all of that out the window, and we just pan over like, ha, I killed my kids. What do you think about that? By the way, no escape pods for you. Like, I don't know that Professor Go actually does care about his kids.
ズールの魔の手がついにプリンスハイネルの命を狙う。秘密基地に突入したボルテスチームを待ち受ける罠とは何か。地底上に死の炎が燃え上がる。次回ボルテス5裏切り者の計画にご期待ください。
Okay, well, I guess we're just going to go whole third faction on this. It very much seems like Zul is going to... Okay, if I'm reading that right, it seems like they're going to try and steal the Voltes 5 machines by themselves, and that when they do, because it seems like they're going to, that one of their beast machines is going to stop them, which means that two sides could be fighting each other. Sorry, I think I might be dictating what would be most interesting for me, which would be to say one of the sides succeeds, but then the other side tries to stop them. Because I can only imagine that Zul is going to try and stab Heinel when he's asleep, fail, retreat back to one of his bases, and then they're both going to be competing with one another on what to do here. Because that would be more interesting to me. A second faction of Bosnians that want the same goals, but will just want to kill the other guy who's in charge. Once again, I mentioned this before during recordings, but we record these live at 11 a.m. EST on Fridays. By the way, I just think Phil Fisher knows that every time I introduce that concept, he's about to be responded to in the chat. Because every time I have to preface what I'm responding to, which is to say, once again, Phil Fisher in the chat says, most likely he isn't aware that the fake pilots are programmed to think that they are real. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it was introduced to us, the audience. We know that that's a thing. So why tell us if it's never going to become important, right? Like, if the episode started and Zul was like, and I made them capable of feeling love. These robots can fall in love and have families. And then he just killed them. He'd be like, why did he say that? Why did he have to tell us that? That didn't matter at all. Same thing. that these androids think that they are the people that they're faking to be, if it doesn't come into play, then why tell us? It didn't matter. So that's why I'm saying it's a failed opportunity. They could have done something with that. Like, literally, you've set us up already that Professor Sakunji wants Voltai's pilots that are more like machines. It's literally something you had him say. And then you gave us Voltai's 5 pilots that are literal machines. They could turn their emotions off, I'm assuming. Literally, we had so many crossovers of things that we've set up across like 4 different episodes now, that this could have had amazing payoff if you just like crossed all those things together. You know, they feel like they're the real people, so they try and help their father escape. Boom, have him escape. Take him with him. They get back to the base, and now they have to deal with the element that they are not the real people, because the real people are here. And then we can prove that you're robots. Boom, that's another story. Now deal with the fact that Sakunji prefers the fake team to the real team. Boom, another episode. I mean, there's so much you can do with all of this. And instead, in the final, it's I killed my kids. Like, that's all that happens. We're just gonna pan over to this, and here you are, half the face ripped off, because I dealt with it on my own. It just feels like a real lost opportunity. Here's the problem. Here's the thing that I do with a lot of shows that I watch sometimes, is that I make more interesting stories in my head than the ones we got. Like, I would have loved at least like 1% of everything that I'm bringing up here than 100% of the what do you call it? Sorry, I can't remember the name of the animal, the little underwater crustacean thing. I would rather 1% of what I'm throwing out here as the idea that could have been used than 100% of the crustacean beast machine. And it wasn't worse than any other beast machine. It just had no narrative push for me. Especially knowing that all that other shit we got left behind. Like, there are so many concepts in this episode that are sci-fi tropes that are beloved by sci-fi shows that do them extremely well, that this one essentially just leaves on the cutting room floor. Like the concept of what's real and what's not. The concept of being an imitation of another person. I even likened it to a Rick and Morty episode, which I know isn't a big thing, especially now, but Rick and Morty itself was stealing that concept from something else. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a real loss. It's a good episode. That's like the unfortunate bit here is that it's a good episode. Like it could have shaved a couple of minutes off here or there on other things and focused on the things I was talking about, but it was a good episode, and I feel like all I'm going to remember of a good episode is how it failed in all these other ways. I guess maybe now I'm understanding what it means to be a critic. A critic where I'm looking at a good thing and all my takeaways, all the negative things about how it could have been better. Oh well, there's no saving it. If you don't like my reaction to this episode, then there's nothing I can say now to pull it back if you didn't agree with me on all those previous points about ways this could have gone differently. Otherwise, I am looking forward to next episode, because next episode looks like it's going to pan into the Bosnian politics, which I've stated before. I'm really interested to see. Maybe not so much the wider ranging Bosnian politics, but at least whatever the hell's going on with Zool. Because I don't know how you could possibly try to kill Heinel directly and not have some final finality to the comeuppance, unless I do the dual faction thing, like I mentioned. Either way, that is going to be it for this episode. So once again, I've been Theta. This has been Stonefaced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?